What's going on, guys? Tomcat here, and today I'm bringing you something a little different. Now, this is a screenshot that was released on the official Need for Speed Facebook page earlier today, and the interesting things about this screenshot is the fact that it's a Koenigsegg Agera R cop car. Now, the gameplay, before I go on, the gameplay you're watching is some online gameplay that I got from Most Wanted. But we're not going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about the screenshot that you saw earlier. Now, that screenshot is interesting because that Agera R cop car, I did some investigating, and it is not the Agera R cop car from Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, and which means that it's either a DLC for Most Wanted or a tease of an upcoming Need for Speed game. Now, both of these make sense, but a tease of an upcoming Need for Speed game makes the most sense with E3 just around the corner. At least I think so, because why would you tease a DLC pack right before E3? Because, I mean, E3 is all about revealing what you're going to be releasing for the year and what you're going to be coming out with, what your next big thing is going to be. And if you want to tease something, you're going to tease a new game. So I'm thinking that this is most likely a tease of a new Need for Speed game, and obviously if it's a cop car, then that automatically means it's pretty much going to have cops, right? I mean, but you could always, it does look like it could also be a Most Wanted DLC, because the graphics look like Most Wanted, the car modeling, the weather and the environment, it all looks like Most Wanted, which, if you think about it, more from that point of view, then it can really sway you into believing that it's a teaser for more Most Wanted DLC. But I don't know. It's really hard to tell at this point because there's no branding on it. There's nothing that says Need for Speed Most Wanted. There's no Need for Speed Most Wanted logo on the picture. And I think if it was a Need for Speed Most Wanted screenshot, EA would put something like that on the picture. I mean, if you guys think otherwise, let me know in the comment section. But I think that, or I don't think that if it was Most Wanted, I don't think that they would just put out a screenshot without putting like a little Need for Speed Most Wanted logo in the corner, or maybe kind of faded into the background somewhere. And I couldn't find any logo, but it looks like Most Wanted graphics. But then again, it could be a new Need for Speed game. We don't know. Now, what we do know is that Agera R cop car, first of all, looks badass. But also, reading some of the, or not reading, but looking at some of the feedback that the Need for Speed series has gotten over the years, is that people really, really, really want an Underground 3. People have been begging EA for an Underground 3. And if this is a new Need for Speed game, then it's probably, I mean, if this is a teaser for what's going to be in a new Need for Speed game, and, the teaser is a Koenigsegg Agera R cop car, then it's most likely not going to be Underground 3, you know what I mean? It's not, because, I mean, street racing tuner people aren't really going to have access to an Agera R, or are going to be chased by an Agera R cop car, It looks like it's going to be another, again, this is all speculation and rumors, but it looks like if it's going to be another Need for Speed game, then it's most likely going to be another fantasy style game like Hot Pursuit or Most Wanted. Now, and I would be fine with that, because to be honest, I'm not one of the people that's been wanting an Underground 3 like crazy. I mean, Underground 1 and 2 were both really, really cool games, but I think that games like Forza and Gran Turismo appeal to the tuner aspect more, and I think excuse me, I think Need for Speed should stick to its arcade roots. I think that Need for Speed should really stick to the over-the-top craziness that it's known for, and not try to be a simulation, because they tried to be a simulation a couple of times and it didn't work out all that well. Now, I'm not saying that Underground 1 and Underground 2 were simulations, you know, that they were far from simulations, but I think that Need for Speed should really stick to the crazy, over-the-top games with, like, jumps and nitrous and crazy drifting and, like, arcade-style modes, like this, you know, takedown challenge we're doing on the bridge. Because I think that that's where the Need for Speed soul and heritage kind of lies. I mean, when I play Need for Speed, I play Need for Speed because I want a break from the more serious racing simulators that I play most of the time. You know, when I play Need for Speed, I don't play it to be competitive. I don't play it to be I don't play it to compete with anybody. I just play Need for Speed to have fun. There's nothing more to it than that. The only reason why I play Need for Speed is to have fun. It's kind of like why do you play Mario Kart? You know, you play Mario Kart to have fun. You're not, if you get crazy competitive on Mario Kart, then you're a little over obsessive, because on an arcade game like Need for Speed, it's more, I find it to be more of a chill out kind of a game than a competitive kind of a game, because whenever I'm on Forza, especially when I'm in multiplayer, I always feel really competitive, and I always feel really driven to, you know, like, I gotta beat my high score, or I gotta get more angle in this drift, you know, in this corner for drifting, or I gotta hit this line perfectly. And every once in a while, you kind of need a break from that, and you want to come over to something that's less serious. I'm not saying that Forza can't be fun. I'm just saying that it's nice to come over from a more serious experience to an experience that's all about having fun. And I think that Need for Speed should really stick with that, and stick with the over-the-top cop chases. Keep cops. Cops really are a huge part of the Need for Speed series, and I would hate to see cops go away. I mean, my favorite Need for Speed games over the years have been the original Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, which I believe came out in 1994, maybe 1995. I don't remember. The original Hot Pursuit, the original Need for Speed High Stakes, which, by the way, EA would be a great one to reboot. Hint. If you reboot Need for Speed High Stakes, you guys have literally gained a lot of respect, because if you were to do that, that would be incredible. Need for Speed High Stakes was one of my favorite classic racing games, and I played that thing so much on the PC. I couldn't tell you how many hours I have logged, or I had logged back when I was a kid, in the original Need for Speed High Stakes. Need for Speed High Stakes was literally like a gem of a game. It took everything that the original Hot Pursuit did so well and amplified it like crazy. It just took it to a whole nother level without having to reinvent itself. It was almost like EA took Hot Pursuit and took everything that was good about Hot Pursuit and made those things better, and took everything that was sort of annoying and not so good about Hot Pursuit and took it out. You know, that's what Need for Speed High Stakes was. Need for Speed High Stakes was, back on the PC anyway, it was one of the most fun games to mod, because unlike the original Hot Pursuit, it could support all sorts of high polygon patches and all that sort of stuff. I mean, I'm not going to go into that because that doesn't really apply to the console world, but it was definitely cool back in the day playing those games, because I remember being able to convert, or using 3D modeling programs to take files out of newer games like Hot Pursuit 2 and even Underground and the original Most Wanted, and converting them all the way back to Need for Speed High Stakes and making custom tracks, and it was just so much fun, and it was just probably one of the most fun games I've ever played in my entire life. I still have my Need for Speed High Stakes disc. I still have it, even though I haven't played it in years. I still have my Need for Speed High Stakes disc, and if I can ever get my if I can ever get any sort of screen capture software to run properly on my PC or my laptop, then I think I would like to actually do videos of classic games like that, because I think it would just be so fun. You know, it would be able to show where those old games have where they came from and what they've evolved into, because I think that Need for Speed Most Wanted, the new Most Wanted with Criterion Games, really kind of took that aspect of fun that Need for Speed had back in the 90s and early 2000s and really revived it and brought it back. And that's what I want to see more of from the Need for Speed series in the future. I want to see them go back to their heritage. I want to see them go back to their roots, where a Need for Speed game was all about fun and just all about having a good time, and really bring those roots back. That's what I want from the Need for Speed series, more than I could, to be honest. If they completely ignore graphics and focus all on gameplay, I wouldn't care, because everybody is just, I mean, if you guys saw the Call of Duty reveal from the Call of Duty Ghosts reveal from the reveal event for the Xbox One, all they talked about was graphics. They didn't talk about gameplay. They didn't talk about how the game was going to play. They didn't talk about how it was going to immerse you within the game using gameplay mechanics. It was all about, oh, we're making facial textures more realistic so you can look at them and admire them and see how great the enemy's face looks. I mean, who cares? Who cares how great your character's face looks? I mean, granted, your graphics have to be decent, but if that's all you care about is graphics, then you're gonna have a really crappy game. A really crappy game, and it's not gonna be fun. It's not gonna be fun. It's gonna be pretty to look at, but it's not gonna be fun to play. And isn't that the point of a video game? To have fun? That's what it's a game. Games are supposed to be fun. And I apologize if this is turning into like a rant, but whenever I talk about, whenever I think about the fact that a lot of these developers are going more for graphics rather than the actual gameplay and the actual fun of the game, it kind of makes me a little bit, I don't know, a little bit ranty. But rant over. I want to close this video out by saying that it's more important, if any developers are watching, it's more important to have fun gameplay than graphics. And that's just my personal opinion, and if you guys have any opinions about that, let me know in the comments section below. Like the video if you enjoyed it. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe for more Need for Speed, Forza, and tons of other racing games and vlogs and news and all sorts of great gaming content. I will see you guys later.